Can you just tell us how it feels? You're an England captain heading to a semi-final.
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty awesome. Like I said, after the India game, the way in which we played, I think is more satisfying than the actual win. Because if you win the game, you go through to the next game or the following test, full of confidence. And I think today's a similar instance. I think the wicket did change after 25 overs, but in teams I've played with in the past, we'd have played a completely different game to 25 overs and not made the most of it. Today we did, and it was probably the winning of the game.
Had you allowed yourself to think about what it would mean to not qualify for the semis after that Australia game? Did you worry?
Well, it would have been drawn. If we lost today, it would have been drawn out for the next couple of days, so it wasn't really worth thinking about.
And just in terms of where next, do you draw a line under the group stage and just go again for 2 games, or do you try and tap into what you've achieved these last couple of games?
Yeah, I think we do tap into what we've achieved the last 2 games. It's been extremely important to our campaign. It's obviously the reason that we've got through and we've been able to play some of our best cricket because of that. So tapping into that, identifying what we did well, and if that still remains the same priority going into the semi-final, which I think it will.
Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow have the highest average of any ODI partnership that's had 30 innings by 15 runs, but also the highest strike rates of any ODI openers in history. How impressive is it that they're able to marry those 2 things? Because it's almost ripping up everything we know about one-day cricket, I guess.
Yeah, it's brilliant to play with, really. If their average wasn't as high and it was actually down, their strike rate was still the same. The manner in which they played is the most important, because we bat all the way down. We're not asking guys to average 50 and strike it at 120. That's unrealistic. But pushing the ceiling as to what guys would normally do was part of the process in which we've gone through probably the first 2 years of the 4-year cycle. But looking at where the guys are at now, it's incredible, really, the talent that they possess and actually what they can achieve on a consistent basis.
And just one last quick one. For games like these and the semi-finals, how much does that put a calmness through the dressing room when you're watching them out there, and then kind of does it just ease everybody a little bit?
It's not really calm, it's more excitement. Yeah. It is. Guys are buzzing, laughing, smiling at how ridiculous some of the shots the 2 guys are playing. Good balls being hit for 4 or 6, how difficult they are to bowl at. You've got to laugh at it. Yeah.
Lawrence and Chris. Eoin, Jofra bowled another pretty tidy opening spell today. How much easier has that made your life as captain throughout the tournament, knowing that the opposition openers probably aren't going to get off to a flyer?
Yeah, they haven't really yet. Obviously that can change, and I think having that sort of objective perspective on things is important, because you can take the 2 guys for granted and they can take their position for granted, but I don't think they are. I think TB is very good at staying on top of them, and Chris Silverwood, our bowling coach, is extremely good at that as well. As a bowling unit, we've been strong, I suppose consistently strong for some time now, but different guys have contributed at different stages. I think the last 2 games, our opening bowling has been brilliant.
Eoin, I guess the team's sort of big match temperament was questioned after those back-to-back defeats. Do you think the pressure of these last 2 games have brought the best out of them and proved that actually you do have what it takes to win big knockout matches?
Yeah, I think we sort of knew that coming into the tournament. The difficult challenge in applying that to World Cup games is that it's just a one-off game. It lends itself more so for you to be, whatever the way you play, it should be the extremity of that on the day, because you don't get another chance. And it's taken us time to get to grips with that. That we do stick to our mantra the whole time and not actually be cagey or desperate or anything in those sort of regards. It doesn't work for us, and it won't win us the World Cup. So, yeah.
Will and Dave?
Eoin, you've got a semi-final at Edgbaston now where England haven't lost in 10 matches across formats. Does that mean anything? And is this where you hope that home advantage could really kick in?
Yeah, it's a place that we really like playing. If we had a choice of where we would play our group stage games, Edgbaston, the Oval, and Trent Bridge would probably be the 3 grounds where we would have played the 9 games if there was just your own World Cup. So it is comforting that we are going to one of those 3 grounds.
Eoin, what did you make of Woody's run out? And are they the sort of moments you need if you're going to win a World Cup?
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of luck. And to run, Kane out is a massive bonus. He's a difficult guy to get out. He's obviously been their leading run scorer and one of the leading run scorers in the tournament. So that was a lot of luck, yeah.
You all seem to enjoy Johnny's celebration. Can you shed any light on what that was about?
Johnny's going to have to explain that to himself.
Stefan at the back and then Guy down here.
Eoin, it's a long time until you play that semi-final next week. Is that a good thing, a bad thing, or does it not really matter? And what will you do in that time? Will it be even possible to switch off from cricket knowing that you've got one of the biggest games of your career coming up?
Yeah, I think it is a really good thing. I can't wait to do nothing or get distracted by other things that I enjoy doing. It's been, I suppose we've rode the roller coaster of playing well, playing terrible, and then playing good again. So particularly our bowlers, they need a rest, they need to get away. We haven't chopped and changed the team a lot, so our seamers do really need a rest. And our batsmen need to get away from the game and hopefully come back fresh.
A quick word on Liam Plunkett. Hasn't played on a losing side yet. Does he kind of have to play now?
The wickets have suited Liam down to the ground. And I think, even if the wickets were flat, he'd still find a way of taking a wicket or building pressure somehow. He has an incredible knack of doing it. He breeds a lot of confidence. He's a great character to have in the change room as well. So when he's doing well, it does breed a lot of confidence. So hopefully that continues.
Well, obviously the wicket changed a wee bit, but it seemed to change pretty much when Roy and Bairstow were out. Are you able to quantify just, up to a point, how good they were, how much of a difference they made, and whether it was the balls going softer as well, or whether the pitch made that much difference, whether it changed that dramatically?
Yeah, the two of them are outstanding. I think when they play like that and build a partnership, and one of the things sort of that stands out for me that it doesn't happen in any normal partnership, it happens in great partnerships, is that both of them ebbed and flowed. Johnny got off to a flyer, Jason was quite slow to start and then caught up, and then Johnny slowed down. It was really brilliant to watch, because normally you have two guys competing with each other the whole time and trying to get ahead, trying to get the strike, trying to be more dominant, whereas as a partnership they are extremely dominant. I can't really explain why it did. I don't know. At state, extremely surprised. Considering how it started, I don't think I've played on a wicket that's changed as dramatically as that. When I was I hit 2 cover drives in the air. I didn't mean to hit them in the air. I tried to keep them along the ground. One went for 4 and the other I got out to. So it was, yeah.
Couple more down here.
So how do you motivate someone like Johnny? Do you slip in the morning newspapers and the tweets, forward the tweets of former cricketers?
I don't have to. He reads it all himself.
And which particular player's growth has satisfied you as a captain? That after you've taken over, which particular player's growth has made you happy?
Probably all of them. Some haven't been as surprising as others. Guys who have unbelievable talent, like Root Stokes, Butler, do extraordinary things all the time. Guys who have come in at the start of this 4-year cycle and where they are now are truly some of the best players in the world. Jason, Roy and Johnny are some of those players, and probably that in that short space of time, it's been great to play with those guys and watch their journey.
And you've been a part of the England team for a long time now. This team has explosive openers, fast bowlers who are really quick. Is this the best ODI side, ODI side that you've been a part of? Would you say that?
Yeah, by a stretch, by a long, long way.
Last one, Julian.
Yeah, just going back to the pitches, are you slightly concerned that the toss is becoming a bit too important in this tournament? Teams are batting first and the services seem to get worse quite considerably for the teams who bat second.
Yeah, before the tournament started, I thought that might be a trend, the toss, being a huge deciding factor in the game, but I actually thought it would have been the other way around. I thought the ball might have swung a bit more if conditions were cloudy or was a bit of rain around, and everybody would have bowled first and chased. It's been the complete opposite, so it shows how much I know. But it is what it is. I suppose during that period of 5 or 6 years when pretty much every game of T20 cricket there was like a 20% advantage in winning the toss and chasing, because you'd obviously win a lot of the time. I thought something might have been done about the toss then, and if it wasn't done then, I don't think it was ever going to be changed. So it's nothing we can do about it.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.